They say temptation comes when you least expect it, not with a shout, but with a whisper you can't unhear. For me, it started with a door left slightly open and a blue glow spilling into the hallway at 2 in the morning. My name is Emily Parker. I'm 39, married to James for 8 years. He's steady, dependable, the kind of man who balances our checkbook, without fail every Friday night. I've been divorced before, so with James, I thought I'd finally found something solid, safe. When I met his son, Ryan, he was 20, quiet, polite, the kind of young man who seemed more comfortable in front of a computer than talking to people. I wasn't his mom, never tried to be. I was just Emily, his dad's wife, and that was fine. After college, he moved away for a job in Seattle, and I assumed that was the end of our brief, polite connection. But 6 months ago, everything changed. The tech startup Ryan worked for collapsed, and suddenly he was back, older, broader, with an easy confidence I didn't remember. James was thrilled to have him home, proud of his smart kid, as he called him. I told myself it was temporary, that I could handle it, but there was something about him now. His eyes seemed to linger too long. His smiles felt weighted, like they carried some secret only he knew. I brushed it off as arrogance, maybe just a young man adjusting to being back under his father's roof. But then came that night. I couldn't sleep. I'd gotten up for a glass of water, padding barefoot across the cold hardwood floor, careful not to wake James. The house was silent, except for the faint hum of a laptop coming from Ryan's room. The door was cracked, just enough for that soft blue light to spill out. I should have kept walking. I should have ignored it. But something, curiosity, instinct, maybe something darker, made me stop. Through that narrow gap, I saw Ryan sitting on the edge of his bed, face lit by the screen. He looked focused, almost intense. And then I realized what I was seeing wasn't just any video. It was a recording of me and James, in moments that should have been private. My stomach dropped. My fingers went numb around the glass in my hand. I didn't speak. I didn't confront him. I just stood there, frozen, my heartbeat loud in my ears. And in that stillness, Ryan's head turned, his eyes catching mine through the crack in the door. There was no embarrassment on his face, no apology, just a slow, deliberate smile that made my breath hitch. I backed away without a word, returning to bed where James slept soundly beside me. But I didn't sleep that night. In the days that followed, I avoided Ryan. I told myself I was disgusted, but deep down, I knew there was another feeling creeping in, something far more dangerous. When we passed in the hallway, a brush of his arm against mine sent a shiver through me. At breakfast, his gaze would meet mine just a second too long, and my stomach would twist in a way I didn't want to admit. Part of me hated it. Another part felt seen in a way I hadn't in years. Then James left for a business trip. He kissed my cheek before heading out the door, joking, "Behave, you too," as if the thought of anything else was absurd. But the moment his car pulled away, the air in the house felt heavier. That night, I was wiping down already clean counters when Ryan appeared in the doorway. "We need to talk," he said, his voice low. My pulse quickened. "I know you saw," he continued, stepping closer. I swallowed hard. "What did you see?" "You," he said simply, a faint smile touching his lips. "And you're even more beautiful up close." I should have told him to stop. I should have walked away. But instead, I froze, caught between anger and something else, something that made my skin warm under his gaze. From that night on, a silent dance began. Small things at first, his hand lingering on my arm, his foot brushing mine under the table, his door left open. The laptop glow tempted me to look. I told myself I was in control, but I wasn't. Then one night, a storm hit. The wind howled outside, rain rattling against the windows, the power snapping off until the house was swallowed in darkness. I was in the kitchen when Ryan's voice came from behind me. "It's just a storm," he murmured, his presence close enough that I could feel the warmth radiating off him. I told him to stop, but my voice didn't have conviction. Lightning lit the room for a brief second, and his expression was unreadable, except for the intent in his eyes. That night, I didn't walk away, and I crossed a line I can never uncross. When the lights came back, reality crashed in. Ryan stepped back without a word, leaving me alone in the kitchen, my hands trembling. The next day, he acted as though nothing had happened, and I let him. 3 nights later, he knocked on my bedroom door while James slept beside me, against every better instinct. I followed him downstairs, telling myself it was just a talk, but every just led to another secret, another stolen moment, and soon we were in too deep. Weeks passed like that, moments hidden between ordinary life, and then one morning I realized I was late, 2 weeks late. The pregnancy test confirmed my worst fear. I didn't know if it was James's or Ryan's. When I told Ryan, expecting shock, he smiled instead. Perfect. Now we don't have to hide. I told him he was out of his mind, but he didn't back down. You already chose me, he said, every time you didn't walk away. He gave me 3 days to tell James, or he would. I couldn't face either choice. So that night, I packed a suitcase, left my wedding ring on the counter, and drove until the city lights faded behind me. But running didn't mean escaping. Ryan found me, and James wasn't far behind. That confrontation ended everything. James's face when he realized the truth is something I'll never forget. Ryan's charm crumbled that day. I saw him for what he was. Not a man in love, but someone who wanted control. And I knew then that whatever happened next, it couldn't include him. I rebuilt my life alone, in a small apartment above a laundromat. At 7 months pregnant, I worked in a bookstore, finding small comfort in the smell of old pages. When my daughter, Lily, was born, I promised myself she would grow up safe in the kind of choices I'd made. Ryan tried to come back, even showing up once with talk of custody. I shut that door for good, and when I finally disappeared into a new city with Lily, I felt free for the first time in years. This isn't just my story, it's a warning. Temptation doesn't arrive with clear warning signs. It slips in quietly, disguised as curiosity, attention, or even comfort. But the cost is always higher than you think. I learned the hard way that the strongest thing you can do isn't giving in. It's walking away before the line is crossed. Because once you do, there's no going back.